This is Renity Love, and these are my stripper stories.
What's good, Renity Love? Welcome to Stripper Stories.
Hello, thank you for having me.
How you feeling? How you feeling?
I'm good. I ain't never told nobody my stripper stories.
Today's the day. Right. What made you become a dancer?
Okay, so in Houston, I used to work at Olive Garden, right? Right across the street from Olive Garden was a Mexican sports bar. It was called Chulas. I think now it's like Ojos Locos or something like that. But it was called Chulas. It was real slutty tops, real slutty bottoms, and everybody in there was strippers or adult entertainers or whatever the case may be. Um, and I had to been about 18, 19, real fresh. I could say 19 at least. And they were like, "Girl, you staying here long enough, you're gonna be a stripper. You're gonna be at the clubs with them." Woo, woo. I'm like, "No, the I'm not." Blah 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 blah. Long story short, yes, the I was. I went to dance with my homegirl one time. On like the north side of Houston because I was from the south side. So I feel like we're so far apart in Houston that if I go to the north side, ain't nobody gonna know me, ain't nobody gonna see me, ain't nothing like that. So um I danced my first night. First night I danced, I guess it's a success story in a sense. Quavo was at the strip club. The first night ever. So definitely was scared, but Quavo definitely threw money on everybody. It was a slow night. So he kind of gave it up to the whole club. I ended up making about $1,200 that night.
Oh, first night?
First night.
Well, I know you was hooked.
I was like, you know what? Let's see what this stripper life is about. And that's where that shit came from. Like I dead ass. Like I don't even know why the he was in the club. It was like a Wednesday night too. It was a Wednesday. It was a Wednesday night. I don't know why he was in the damn club, but
he was there.
Shit. And all the in the club got some money because it was slow. There was no one there. So he threw the money and like ended up like dipping off. Like I guess to find a better vibe because like I said, the club was dry.
So that was a money high. That's what that's called.
Instantly, real quick. And I was working at the sports bar, whatever. I'm making $600, whatever. That ain't shit compared to a $1,200 night in a couple minutes, because that's what it was.
So, how was your days after that? Was it slow down or?
So I didn't instantly dance after that. I went with my cousin the first time. My cousin didn't like it, so I wasn't really big on going to a strip club by myself. It was more of like, now I kind of need to find someone who's willing to like dance with me. But I actually never found anybody to dance with me. I took it upon myself to just kind of start going to different clubs and dancing. And the first night, I guess by myself, I was dancing. It wasn't like that night at all. Maybe made 600 that night. That was the entire night. Maybe made $600, and I feel like I made that because when I was in college, I was a dancer on a dance team, and there was the drum major that had graduated right before I got there. He was at the strip club that same night, and it was more or less like, "Oh, my crap sister, let me like help you out. Let me make sure you're good. This and this and this." He threw the money, most of the money on me for that night, and then was like, "I don't know if you remember blah 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 from the dance team. She also dances here. Y'all should link up, and y'all should dance together." So that night, yeah, I probably made like $600. 400 was from him, and then the rest was from like my little stage performance or whatever, little minor stuff. And the next, he ended up giving me her number, and then I connected with her and tapped in with her, and then she kind of became my dance buddy.
Oh, well, so, you feel like every dancer has a price?
Price on what?
Say cat. We'll say that. We'll use that word.
Yes and no.
Okay.
And the reason why I say yes is because I live in Houston. You feel what I'm saying? It is a hot celebrity spot. Celebrities have money. They're not dishing off $2,000, more like $8,000, more like 10 grand, you know? So it's like some of those, they're gonna give it up. 10K, be serious. But there are some women who have husbands at home who are actually very like live a mindset that they don't have to do this to make their money. You know what I'm saying? That all money is not good money. I just shake my ass and I go home. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I feel like I have met a few women, maybe a handful of women who were like that in the sense of like, I don't have to do that. You know, I don't need to do that. So yes and no in a sense.
Right. Have you ever been robbed being a dancer?
No. Thank God. Honestly, I also don't think that I had been a dancer that long to have experienced something of that nature. However, I do have friends who have had that experience, but me personally, no.
What's the craziest thing you've seen in the strip club?
On the flow, like that ass, like, you know.
Yeah, break that down. Where was this at?
Oh my God. In them clubs on the north side, they real ghetto.
Okay.
North side of Houston is real ghetto. It's real ratchet. Some people like to get they sections in the corners and stuff like that. You select which you want in your section. And I feel like off of selection, either A, they know you as a friend, or B, just from what I have experienced in my life, they know you, like you a cool ass homegirl, let me get you some money, or B, you somebody over here. And I did look up one time, and you know, I was over there in the section, like, you know, it wasn't like type, but you see that she's not shaking her ass on him. She's riding this nigga dick. So very much was, yeah.
Was that frowned upon in that club?
It actually wasn't supposed to happen. So I feel like because they were spending so much money that they just kind of overlooked it. So I won't even say that it was frowned upon. It was like, oh, that bitch over there getting paid. It is what it is. But at the same time, me personally, at that time, I wasn't really too open-minded to stuff like that. So I was kind of looking like and judging, you know. I definitely was like, I don't know if I should dance here no more, because if this is what they expect from me, like, I can't provide that.
Right. Have you ran into any pimps in the club?
Man, I'm from Houston. Like, what they say, Texas is the home of the players and pimps. Real. But one thing about me, my dad was a pimp. Like, can't nobody pimp me. So I did see a lot of with pimps, but me personally, I don't see me giving my money to no nigga that I just worked hard for.
How you feel about tipping out the DJ and the house mom? And
when I first started, I thought it was fair. I did think that like house mom is making sure you have everything that you needed. I did feel like the DJ, if they were playing like exactly what you requested and stuff like that, why not throw them a tip? But then it started to become like if you ask me. I feel like the more popular the people were that came into the club. So if you had a celebrity come into this club, if you had somebody with high notoriety come into this club, they want you to pay a higher tip out for everybody. And personally speaking, everybody doesn't make the same money in the club. You can't expect this to pay $100 to everybody and all they made was $300 versus this who made $1,500, $1,600 to pay out $100 to everybody. And still, in a sense, I feel like that's really not fair, because we're dancing, but we're not dancing for that specific person or that specific audience. So I feel like that shit, I feel like y'all need to keep a minimum.
Okay.
And keep it at that. If you have a weekend minimum, I get that. You have your weekend minimum because it's a lot more busy. I understand that. But at the end of the day, don't raise your prices because there is a known artist in the building or there's something like that. I feel like that's not how you operate a business.
Right. So you would definitely change that about
Yes. In Houston, yes. They have that bad. They have that so bad to where they think that, oh, this person came in, so everybody in here needs to tip out this amount of money. No, y'all need to keep a minimum and y'all need to leave it at that. Everybody's still getting paid the same. I don't understand why y'all think that y'all should get paid more because somebody came with more money. That's the money for the dancer. She did all that work, not you.
You feel there's a such thing as my customer?
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
I feel like if this man comes in here for you every time, that is your customer. I do feel if he comes and you're not there, first of all, they wouldn't come because y'all have a communication of, hey, I'm coming to the club, and they bring their ass to the club. So I do feel that this is my customer, this is my client, this is my this. Now, I feel like a regular person who comes to the club on a regular is not anyone's customer. I feel like you're a regular person for the club, which means that you tip whatever you deem fit for the night. And a regular, I feel like that is for you specifically, will hit you up. Hey, I'm coming to the club. Or you hit them up, hey, I'm working tonight. And they pull up. They came for you. So that is your customer. But if they come to the club and they come to the club every day, that doesn't mean that that's your customer.
I like how you broke that. You feel like online is hurting the strip club?
So you know me, I dabble in both. I am very big on I'm very big on bringing out the club to the online services. I feel like you can do what you're doing right there in the comfort of your own home. So will I say it's harming the club? Yes.
Right.
I do want to answer your question straightforward. Yes, it does. It does harm the women who actually just want to strip and make their money and go on about their day. Yes. But not as much because you still have those people who are like, I want to see it in person. Like, I don't want to see that shit online. I don't give a fuck about no online appearance. I can see online for free. You know what I'm saying? And in fact, they can. So it's more of those consistency is key type of things.
What should a customer not do in the club?
I feel like customers need to be more, do not get overly drunk. Do not come in this and get drunkish and think you can touch everybody and feel on people how you want to feel on people and move how you want to move. At the end of the day, these are still women. You still have to respect the fact that these are ladies doing their job. They are not here to you. They are not here to sleep with you. They're not here for you to take them home. Granted, you might get a dime out of a dozen, and that might happen for you. But do not expect every single woman in this club to be that type of person. So I would say lower your expectations. Do not offer them drugs, especially if it's someone that you don't know. And do not come in here overly drunk and manhandling women. I feel like those are my big no-nos.
What's the worst thing that ever happened to you?
So I honestly, which is crazy, it was a group of women. I feel like sometimes women think that they have free game to do things as well, which is not okay. I'm not big on touching, which is kind of why I stopped dancing so much. I feel like women want to get all in your and they want to, you know what I'm saying, finger you and do all this other kind of stuff. That makes me uncomfortable. If I'm dancing for you, I'm dancing for you. If you want me to take off my clothes, cool, all well and fine, I'll take my clothes off. I don't mind doing that if we're at a strip club. But what I do mind is you sticking your dirty ass fingers in my vagina. Woman or not, do not stick your fingers in my vagina. I have had that experience a lot more with women than I have had with men, which is because I feel like they think that it's okay because they're girls. It's still harassment.
What's the most money you ever made in the club?
Truthfully, I made 4 bands in the club.
Well, what was that day? How did that happen?
Honestly, okay, so that day, the day that I made 4 bands, I actually am really proud of myself. So, I made 4K because my homegirl that I usually dance with, that I was talking about earlier, she got invited into a section At this time, we always danced together. We did pole work together. We did floor work together. Like this is what it was. She got invited into that section without me. People pick and choose who they want. Okay, I get it. So I now have to work by myself. I don't trust these other. I don't know these other. And I feel like in the strip club, you keep to yourself, in my own opinion. So I was working the floor. I worked my ass off that night. I was here, they was throwing money. I was there, they was throwing money. I was on stage, they was throwing money. And by the end of the night, I had made the biggest bag. So I commend myself on the fact that it probably was my first like solo night without her that I had accumulated the most money.
So dancers, they make a lot of money, right? Would you say they make more than average, right?
Yeah.
But you might talk to them, or you might engage with them, and they might tell you, hey, I don't have a car, or I need my phone bill paid, or something like that. Why do you think that is?
Financially literacy.
Okay.
Like I said, I was like 19, 20 doing this. I was still struggling, just like everybody else. I did have a car, but I didn't have no badass car. My car would run hot. You know what I'm saying? I had a car, if you ask me. Sometimes my homegirl would come pick me up because my car was. I was living paycheck to paycheck, so not every night is a $4,000 night or a $6,000 night or whatever the case may be. You might make $200. You might not make, and you still got to pay your tip out and your this and your that. So, I feel like when you have responsibilities, $4,000 can go a lot quicker than you think. And trying to save that money and pay your bills and pay for everything. And a lot of people, they have kids and they got to take care of outside of themselves. And it's a lot harder to have fast money to save up every night versus like a check for the entire week. I feel like it makes a big difference when you have something for the week to kind of hold on to versus, okay, I made this amount of money tonight. I have to pay my rent with this. So let's pull this out of here already. I have to pay my lights with this. I have to pay this with that. Now you have $100 left over, and you still need to eat, and you still need the gas to get back to the club, and you still need to pay your tip out. And everybody else in the club, they want some money. So I feel like financial literacy does hinder strippers.
Have you ever been turned on dancing?
Yes. Yes, a lot more than a little bit. When it comes to dancing with other women, I'm bisexual, so I love my ladies. I love me a nice ass that shake, and I love me a pretty pussy in between it. So, a little bit of liquor, a fine ass woman will definitely have me feeling nice and, ready to take somebody home.
Have you ever dealt with SA?
Yes. So very broad question. In the strip club, harassment as far as touching and stuff like that, yes. Growing up, my whole life I was sexually assaulted by my dad. So a lot more than a little bit, genuinely maybe 17, 18 years of my life.
Yeah, that's very touchy. I'm sorry to hear that.
You grow from it. You become the victim or the survivor.
Right.
Me personally, I don't want to be a victim. I'm gonna survive, and that's exactly what I chose to do. It is a lot harder to deal with when you have older siblings who have also encountered the same thing, who were kind of trying to take over the role of the assault, so that me personally, I'm the youngest, so that me personally wouldn't have to deal with it. So I can only imagine like what they dealt with to make sure that I didn't get what they got, but I still kind of got the same treatment, So I feel more than I feel for myself, I feel for my sister, honestly. She tried to do her best to make sure that whatever was happening to her wasn't happening to me, and it still, in fact, was happening to me.
Where's your father now?
I couldn't tell you. I have not talked to my dad since 2019 is when I made the executive decision to disappear permanently. I'm not sure where he is. I'm not sure what he's doing. Honestly, I am not in a forgiving mood, so I hope he's doing bad. If you ask me, I hope he ain't got shit going for himself. Um, Honestly and truthfully, I actually hope that he realizes that the only two kids that he does have are no longer talking to him and have not talked to you for my sister almost 11 years now. Um, and me, what, 7 years, I think, 7 or 8 years now. That maybe one day you'll actually open your eyes and see like the type of trauma and the type of hold you had on us to get yourself together, because you need to get yourself together. And it's nothing that we could have done or we could have said to help you get yourself together. I'm a very open person, and I felt like I was the one like, oh, well, my sister doesn't talk to you. I'm gonna make sure we get through this, or I'm gonna make sure that you get through this, because I still want to be I still want my dad to be a part of my life. Or I did want that. Honestly, I still kind of do want that, but it's not gonna happen. But it sucks to know that somebody that gave birth to you from birth was willing to put you out on the street and let people do, what they wanted, including him, for financial gain.
Where's your mom at in this situation?
My mom, I love my mom, but I have this like flip floppy relationship with my mom. Growing up in my mother's house, it didn't work. We just couldn't get along. I feel like now she's like my best friend. I talk to her about a lot of things. I can explain to her now a lot more things that were happening to me when I was growing up. When I did tell her, she never hesitated to believe me. She never hesitated to say that I was lying. Like none of that. She had my full support the entire time. Or she had my back the entire time. But what I will say is, growing up, I feel like there were times that I kind of hinted at certain things, and I feel like she didn't pick up on. And my mom has 7 kids, so there is a lot of us. Not saying that there's an excuse for it, but it is kind of hard to. It's kind of easy to miss certain things when you have so many children that you're looking after, and making sure that everyone is okay. That is kind of hard to see that every weekend she goes with her dad, and she comes back, she has a different attitude, and we're not understanding why she has this attitude, because she's not speaking on what's going on and what's wrong and stuff like that. Around 7th, 8th grade, I started to, say something slicks. I never really expressed it until I was 19, but in like 7th grade, I do remember saying certain things that I feel like she should have picked up on that she just didn't pick up on.
So, for anyone that's going through this or has went through it, how'd you get past this?
I truthfully had me and God. There, God is real. And I can't stress that enough. I don't know how to make someone else believe that, but I know God is real. And the reason why I know is because my final kickoff with my father was him kind of laying up against me one night when I was completely sleeping. I like sleeping, totally sleeping. I woke up very uncomfortable, and his thing was, I wanted it. Never in my life do you ever want something like that. Never in his life should he ever think that his daughter wanted something like that. I don't understand that. I called my sister that night, and she just kind of told me what she did, and she was like, um, talk to God, take everything to Him, and if nobody else understands you, He will understand you, and He will give you a path that nobody else understands but you and Him. And that is exactly what happened for me. I started praying more. I genuinely took a step out of the real world, if you would say, and took myself into a spiritual journey, into a spiritual realm where life was more than what I could see. That it was more than you can see, that life is beyond measures than what is placed in front of you. And I had to actually acknowledge that this is what's happening. This is who my father is as a person. This is who my mom is as a person. This is who I am as a person. And which route do I want to take? And I want to take my own route. And that's exactly what I did.
So, was any religion in that, or was just with God?
Personally, I feel like religion is a bit strict.
Right.
I feel like with religion, they try to make everything so hell bent on this. I feel like the relationship that you have with God is your own relationship. It is not a relationship that you can find in a church or in a temple or in wherever you practice your religion at. I feel like you still have to have that one on one conversation with Him. So I am a spiritualist. Yes, I do not necessarily believe in religion because I feel like it restrains us to learning certain things when you should learn about everything and you should be open minded and optimistic to everything that is kind of happening around you.
Well said. Well said. Man, you're very articulate. um,
Thank you.
did you? I mean, where do you get that from?
My mom, funny enough, my mom has a song.
Let's hear it.
It's really simple. It's nothing crazy. But it was articulate, use your teeth and tongue. God gave you a mouth for a reason. Use it. I am very well spoken. I did go to college. I was top 10% of graduating school. I feel like my testimony is not who I am as a person. Yes, I can speak about it. Yes, I can say these things, but at the end of the day, I'm still a very well-rounded child. I did sports growing up. I was an athlete. I was a very good athlete at that. I graduated top 10% of my class, which meant I can go to any school in the state of Texas. Um, I just made sure that what was happening to me wasn't going to show. I did not have to show people that I'm going through something. Somebody gonna see that I'm a good person or I'm a good woman or I'm a good this. And you don't have to see that from me, from what the he was doing to me or whatever was going on. So articulate, use your teeth and tongue. That's literally what my mother taught me, and I live by things that my mom taught me, and because I feel like she taught me certain things because certain things happened to her. So why not teach your child to be better? And I feel like she did that.
Right. And the recent now you see people getting brought up on charges for like Diddy stuff and all this stuff, like going 15 years, 10 years back. Did you ever want your dad to be brought up on any charges for what he did?
I okay, great question. When everything was kind of hitting the fan, my sister was the one who came out about everything. Me personally, when she asked me, I wasn't quite ready to speak on certain things. I feel like it was their reaction that made me be like, well, y'all got us up. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be quiet no more. I'm not gonna sit here and try to look out for my dad when in reality, you're a fucked up person. Like, this is some fucked up shit, and this really happened to me. So at first, I would say no. I didn't necessarily want that to happen, but now, yes, I do. And I only say that because I feel like even now that I'm telling my story, like I still have other family that will speak to me about certain things that my dad has said or is saying right now to this day, and he has not learned his lesson. And I feel like a lesson needs to be learned. You need to really realize what it is that you did to your children, and you need to face the fact that this is your fault. This is something that you did, and you should own up to it. So now, yes, I truly believe that you should face the charges of what you did to me, my sister, and my stepsister, because it's not just and there's no telling who else or what else you have done. You know what I'm saying? You were a rapper at one point in time, and you were a big time rapper. You know what I'm saying? So there's no telling who or what you did to other people. So I'm gonna speak for everybody in my behalf when I say that he deserves to be charged with certain things.
And if you don't want to say this, don't say it, please. You say your dad was a big rapper. Who is he? Or is he?
So my dad grew up with Pimps.
Okay.
He's from Port Arthur.
Okay.
So his number one album was with Fat Pat. His name is Sean P. He was in a group, Pimp Tight is the name of the group. In 1999, they were a hot commodity in the state of Texas. Like I said, he was on tour with Pimp C, Fat Pat, Bun B, all the rappers that you can think of. Genuinely speaking, if they were to ever see this, they would know exactly who I was talking about. Face looks familiar now, I know, because we do look a lot alike, more than a little bit. But yes, his name is Sean P in the rap industry, and he was attached to what is the name of their rap group? I can't even think of the who signed, but it was with Fat Pad and all of them. I can't even think of the name, but yeah, he was pretty hot from what 1999 to 2001 type of vibe.
And I appreciate you going through there with us. I mean, because there's someone that's watching this, and that you're gonna really help them. Because they're probably that age at the time, and they can know that they can get through this and come on a better side.
Yes, genuinely speaking, I'm 27 now. I'm about to be 28. So it did not happen overnight for me to be able to speak. I actually did not start talking until 19. I told my mom, and then 23 is when my sister told my dad's side of the family, basically. And I wish I would have said something a lot sooner. And I just pray for anybody out there who is ever even watching this or whoever understands, you can come out on top. You do not have to be the victim of anybody's story. You can literally be the survivor of your own story and create your own journey and move on and move forward with your life. You can express it. You can say how you feel. Fuck who don't care, who's not listening to you, because there are people out there like me, like you, literally, who need to hear this, who need to understand, okay, well, I did say something to my mom and I did say something to my dad's family. Guess what they did? They disowned the shit out of me, not my mother, but my dad's family. They disowned the shit out of me. We went to the police. Guess what? My aunt paid for the charges to be dismissed. They had money to do that. So there are routes that everyone takes in the same way, in the same sentence that we did try to play everything by the book, but that doesn't mean that everything's going to happen that way. That shouldn't silence you from being who you are and saying how you feel and putting you in a bubble and putting you in a shell. No, open your mouth, speak up, fuck who don't listen to you, fuck who don't agree with you, because all it takes is one person to have a listening ear for you, and that's all you need. That's literally all you need for you to be successful. And even if you don't have a listening ear, I have a listening ear. I have a listening ear. I know what you've been through. I understand. I have an ear for you.
Man, once again, man, I appreciate you that you opened up for that.
I thank you for giving me the opportunity to express things like this. I know this is not an easy topic to discuss. So I do want to thank you for allowing me to bring awareness to this and to be able to speak on something like this for real.
Right. And I'm sure the people are going to want you back. Tell more stories for real, because
hey, it gets a lot deeper. I don't know how deep we want to get into it in the future. You know what I'm saying? But I'm an open book.
Yeah, we'll definitely dive in there, man. Thank you, Renity Love, man. Appreciate you for coming through Stripper Stories.
Hey, of course, the one and only Stripper Stories from Renity Love, man. That's crazy. I never told nobody my stripper stories.